This is IBM Museum, and we have yet another unboxing. So let me get the webcam turned off and get cycled around to my bench, pull out my knife, and start unboxing. And I do know what this is by the size of the package. I'm interested in seeing what components in particular that are in here, and hopefully I can figure out the best way. And I might just go from the other side that has the original packing tape rather than this mixture of duct tape and packing tape and all sorts of things. And this is not an eBay purchase. I did get this on Mercari. Pretty good price actually for what this is. And kind of going through and building on this level of device recently, because these are some pretty good workhorses. It looks like, and just like prior unpacking, I've got some newspaper I guess I can go through and read, and it looks like just the unit itself without a whole bunch of accessories or anything like that. Brown packing paper here. I can't tell if that's, I think that's that is a little bit like it's kind of musty. I don't know if it's a smoker or not. I have no idea of the actual origins of this device. Yeah, it just looks like it's the unit itself, but that's fine. I have accessories. I can go through and pick this up. This bubble wrap. I mean, probably pretty good packaging otherwise for this. I've got enough bubble wrap. I think I'll just go through and tear. Yeah, and it looks in really good condition here. There's the top of it, and this is in better shape than the later model that I do have. I don't know why these doors sometimes are, and I mean with the age of these units, but this looks in good shape. That's an amazing thing right there of the parallel port right on the unit. Don't know about the condition of the battery. It's got for the docking and some standard ports there. And who knows, I could have gone through and I can go through and power this up and have things connected. But this is a T40, which actually should show in on the insides of this. Yeah, that is in good shape. I mean, the keys aren't even worn down lettering or anything like that. And we see the T40. Sorry for the ring light reflection. Screen looks in pretty good shape. I mean, I do have alcohol wipes to go through and to clean that otherwise. And sometimes with these screens, you see the impressions or just kind of a little bit of the grime off of the keys when that lid is closed. But hinges are in great shape. infrared port on the front. And I mean, I could go through with the with my dock to actually connect up a keyboard and have a keyboard out and away, but that's probably fine too. And this is we'll have to see what condition the Windows XP is on. It's got a COA at the underside, and that's the badge for the Centrino processor. So it's a little bit lower in CPU than some of the comparable models. Now behind me is my T42, and this is in a little bit rougher shape as far as the case. There's missing screws. It's clean otherwise. You can just tell that it's been disassembled, and actually right now for what it's doing, it's going through the XP, is just looping on the activation, which is easy enough to do with Windows XP. But once you go into there and get to the activation, then it tells you the product's already been activated, and the only choices are to go through and reboot or shut down, and it just endlessly loops. So I'll have to go through and rebuild this, which won't be so much of a challenge. But it came with accessories. I've got the charger here. I've got the external diskette drive, USB, and I've got that dock on the back. And it might be the best way. I didn't have even this planned necessarily, but this does have the ability to dock with that, and rather than just running off of batteries or running off of the external charger. I think going through, even pulling this forward, I can go through and pull the T42 out. As I say, you can see a little bit of that, little bit more rough condition otherwise of this. But this is the higher end unit, has a lot of the same look to it, to the parallel port, the battery charger, probably even the same. No, the batteries look just a slightly different length. Of course, this one being probably a little bit more higher capacity, but you know, close. And this is actually a Pentium 4. I don't know what speed right off the top of my head. I'm on a specification page for the T40, but this is the T42. And you can see a little bit more of the screen. Keyboard's about the same condition. So, and this is still, the hinges and things like that are still pretty good with it. Just the case otherwise, in missing just a few screws around, a little bit rougher condition. But I'm also getting a T41. The unit that was between these two, that I'm going to go through and pick that up in Dallas, Texas, and that will be just a little bit more, a couple weeks. And I will be at Computer Reset on the 22nd of January. And Clint from LGR YouTube channel is going to be there, revisiting the place after a couple years. A lot of people know from outside the Dallas area know of Computer Reset thanks to his videos showing the inside of that. And of course, there's not necessarily going to be any video streaming They have to account for the current environment, any possible danger within the store, not to necessarily be having to stream, but just a kind of a meet and greet for all that. And so I will enjoy being down there and going through, and also it's a little bit of a shopping trip effectively for me to see what items I can find, mainly IBM, but along that trip I will be picking up that T41 as well. And I know that that unit is in a good shape and has been gone through and worked with. That corner of that screen bezel looks a little bit, and even for that I don't know of anything of possibility of the battery charging or anything else. It's nice I have the battery charger, but we get the yellow indicator of that. I don't have any idea of OS condition or anything else along that lines. That nice little splash screen, IBM ThinkPad, and it might even be something good, even though it maybe darkens a little bit of the surroundings. It'll give a little bit more view of the screen on this. And these are nice little units to have, workstations, and it does have the spot for the PCMCA adapters I have around. That's a possibility of using these as workstations as well for the token ring network, getting just a small footprint machine onto that token ring network. And I could even go through, I have a network cable I could go through. I could get this thing. In fact, let's go through. Since I got it hanging loose, just the right reach. None of this is planned or none scripted. There's the modem, even a dial-up modem port that's built into this as well. I'd have the potential to connect up, my little keyboard here to the back, which, this rack mount keyboard is a lot of the same, looks a lot of the same layout as a ThinkPad keyboard. Nice little, didn't get into any prompt for login, which XP can do. That's fine. And we see at least an operational utility. We do see the standard things for install. Looks like they have a lot of utilities, power term, everything else. Man, I may not even have to work with this so much. The Norton stuff for antivirus protection, well, we'll see. I mean, I'll probably just minimize it and go through. It did detect it's detecting the diskette drive. I could have gone through and I could even piped in and captured the video and stuff like that on this as well, but that's fine. I'm not a real big fan. I know where I go on the internet, and really for the factors of the Windows XP, I mean, I know when I'm on that particular OS, not just using this to browse the OS. I mean, browse the internet. I'm going through, and I'm going to known sites, going to the Ardent tool to go through and get those diskette images and things like that. It's got wireless. It's going through and detecting the wireless networks around. That's fine. I'm on a wired connection. I I don't care about that right now. I see from the battery indicator saying 29%. That could have just been a long time since the charge, especially if the charger, nothing else is included with that. Again, that's fine. If I need those side components, those side accessories, I can find them otherwise. And let's just have kind of a brief look. I'm not going to show this up close. This doesn't have any of my details on it, and certainly for details of anybody else, I'm uninterested in that aspect, and those details are safe enough with me. I just want to kind of do a quick view of looking at the stats of this and looking at what drive space and other parameters we might have there as well. As a last thing, I can even probably get it online through Internet Explorer or something else and just go to the old net, sign the guest book or something, and we just see kind of the rather typical Windows XP performance for that time frame. It's registered to a Steve last name, no last name. Windows XP Professional version 2002. So this is 20. Windows XP for this version is 20 years old at this point, and it's even got the nice little thing of the manufactured and supported by IBM Corporation. Well, I don't think they support the computers that they made back now, and it has Intel Pentium Pentium M processor, 1.3 megahertz, and 512 megabyte of RAM. And I'll have to get looking at the expansion capabilities and what the possibility of going through and throwing a little bit more RAM on it if I can. And let's look through for the Welcome Family Computer and an MS Home. I want to see if anything's flagged in hardware. I know that it did go through and recognize the diskette drive. Looks like everything, there's not any so-called bangs on here, the yellow exclamation point of something that's flagged that doesn't have for the all the drivers loaded or anything like that. And the ATI Mobility Radeon 7500 as a display adapter just is cool. Otherwise, 100 megabit Intel Pro chipset for the network adapter. No PCMCIA adapters in there right now. But I think this is going to be a great little system. Let's look at the just like a hard drive aspect. It's got the McAfee security system for that. I mean, I'll go with the Norton stuff any day of the week. I'm the McAfee stuff. I even had the ability to get a free level of the McAfee. That the amount of the system that it is, I wouldn't go with the McAfee stuff at all in my own if I have my way with it. But I'm just trying to open up my computer just to see. Okay, so free space 7.54, so 7.5 gigabyte free, 25 gigabyte used on the drive. So you know, we've got be able to put this to some very good use. Otherwise, I'm very happy for the amount that I spent on the system to what I got, even though I just got the system unit itself. I could get around packaging that I have here that I threw on the floor to get turned back around and get the webcam back on, and we can do an outro. I mean, I'll go through, you'll undoubtedly see this system a little bit more in future videos when the occasion may come up to use it. I really anticipate using it along with the existing T42 that I still have, and that T41 that I still have to pick up. And we'll do a little bit of checking over it once I get it. Who knows, maybe back at the hotel room in Dallas after I've gone to CR and to Computer Reset and picked it up, and just to look over what its features are as well. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and click on that like button, please. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Recommend it to your friends that may be interested in this sort of content so they can subscribe too. But this is IBM Museum. That's all I have for now. Thank you.